good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to Indie Dev, the official podcast of Graphite Lab. I'm your host, John McCula. I'm here today with our entire QA division, Mr. David Greenfield.
Hello.
David, how you doing?
I am super.
Fantastic. And also, I'm here with half of our official artist quadrant of the lab, Mr. Ben Severs. Ben Severs, how you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, we're here. We're going to talk about some Hive a little later. But first, I want to talk to David here because Mr. David Greenfield got to play the Titanfall beta over the weekend. The lucky dog. David, tell us about Titanfall. What's that all about?
So I'm sure anyone listening to this probably already knows what Titanfall is all about.
Pretend they're all idiots.
Okay.
Because deep down in your heart, you know that's true.
All right. It's a first-person shooter, and it's in the future. And
how far in the future?
I don't know.
Is it like Halo-style future, or is it like new Call of Duty future? Are you shooting like laser weapons, or is it like bullets?
There's no aliens and stuff,
Okay.
and there's not really lasers. So yeah, it's more a realistic, modern, maybe future.
So it's not like Destiny, where it's like 2250 whatever.
No, it's just definitely more
giant spheres over the
I
earth.
don't remember if they give years or not, but
Gotcha.
so yeah, you pilot these mechs, and it's basically Call of Duty with robots and lots of jumping. There's jetpack, wall running. A really mobile game. It's really fun. I dig it.
So how does all that work? Is it kind of like Mirror's Edge as far as all the parkour stuff, or is it?
Yeah,
there's parkour stuff.
Honestly, I think it's better. It's more entertaining than Mirror's Edge was. I mean, Mirror's Edge had nice wall running mechanics, but it was a little tricky, and combat was of course terrible. But this is obviously focusing on combat, so it's acceptable.
What kind of parkour stuff does it have?
Obviously there's wall running, as I'm sure you've seen.
I haven't. I don't know.
What's wrong with you?
That's right.
Well, yeah. So basically, you have your regular jump. All first-person shooters have a jump, but then they give you a second jump through this backpack of like jetpack thing attached to your waist. So and there's ledge grabbing. So you jump up to the second stories on buildings, and you'll automatically grab on the ledge and go up.
Nice.
Wall running is how you would expect. You sort of just run at the wall and jump, and if you hit the wall, you'll start running along it. And then if you jump off that wall, it'll give you a momentum boost, and you can go even farther. So if you're really good, you can traverse the stage really quickly if there's walls to be run on.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
good stuff.
In a way, it's kind of a big departure from normal Call of Duty, but then also it's kind of not. Is that true? Is my understanding correct? Is the shooting still basically just like Call of Duty, where like you see a dude and a couple shots and he's dead?
Generally, how shooting works.
There's no there's no overshield or anything crazy that, or
I use most of the weapons. They obviously all are varying in damage and fire rate. It's still just a general. You point at the enemy and you shoot at them, preferably their head. Obviously, but they don't die in like one shot. Even the sniper rifle I was using, you have to hit pilots at least twice, and there's no it doesn't auto aim or anything when you aim down sight. So it's a lot. It's a lot hard. Like there's a lot less no scoping or quick scoping as there were in Call of Duty games. So it's a bit more challenging in that regard. The controls are really the same. I mean, you aim down sights, you shoot at them. There's not much else to it. But then, of course, there's the added element of very vertically based stages instead of horizontally based stages, which are a lot of Call of Duty. So there's lots of roofs and multiple floors and all sorts of stuff to hide in and go on. And
you can hook to walls, right? Like you jam your knife in the
that's
wall
actually
and kind of hang there.
One thing that I didn't discover that you could even do until a few hours into the game, when I saw a perk that allowed you to wall hang longer, and I was like, well, I don't know what the heck wall hanging is. Apparently, you can just while you're wall jumping or hanging on a wall, like if you stay on a wall for a while, you'll just slide down it, like Mega Man or whatever. You just slowly drift down the wall, and if you hold down your aim, you'll just hang there for a while and you can shoot. But obviously, since you're holding down the aim button, which is left trigger on the Xbox One, You can't, like, that's your aim down sights button, so you can't just stand, like, hang on the wall and, like, aim down sights at people, like, because then it'd be really easy to snipe. So you're sort of hip firing while you're hanging on the wall, and so it's fun. People can see you a lot easier. I mean, I didn't do it a whole lot, so I didn't practice with it, but I don't really do it a whole lot. I'd rather hide behind something than hang on the wall. But it's cool to do, just so you feel like Spider-Man or something.
Does the game have, like, I mean, like, health packs or anything, or is it the typical current,
no,
like, you hide for a second, you regen all your health?
Yeah, you have to hide for a while, and your health comes back. So
Bummer.
Your Titans have health, which doesn't come back, but they do have a shield, which does come back. So if you're in a firefight and your shield goes down, you probably want to find cover to give your shields time to recover, but, yeah.
How does the Titan maneuvering... Like, is it as fast as the...
They look pretty quick.
Yeah,
like,
it's a lot faster than you'd think it would be. Like, obviously, since they're so big, even their normal, like, walking, like, they're going to cover as much distance as an infantryman. Maybe a bit slower, but then they have a sprint, too. Like, the controls are a lot similar to being a pilot as when you're in a...
like a tank or anything?
A Titan. Because, you have your walking, you have your sprinting, you have your aim down sights, you can even crouch. And then they have, instead of... Like, A is the jump for a pilot. A is actually the boost for the Titan. And depending on the Titan, you have a certain amount of boosts that recharge over time. It's like a cooldown. So, like, you're holding down forward, you hit A, you'll dash forward, or you'll dash left, or you'll dash right. And it's a really good way of getting behind cover quickly when, like, somebody's locking on to you or when another Titan is shooting at you. So they're really mobile. If you want to get from one side of the stage to the other, you're going to get there faster probably as a Titan than you would on foot.
That's pretty cool. I know I always liked the old, like, Armored Core games, which were, like, where you're a mech, but you're, like, super fast and mobile, and you got, like, these, like, basically skate boots that you just, like,
it's really like
just
that.
shoot over. That's awesome, because I love that maneuverability in a mech. It was just super fun.
And the Titan that's in there's only one Titan that you can be right now. It's called the Atlas class, and it's sort of like the medium class between like. So far, we know of the Strider, the Atlas, and the Ogre. The Strider is the quick, less armored one, obviously, and then the Ogre is going to be the big, slower, heavily armored one. So I'm sure the Ogre isn't near as good as getting across the stage as the Atlas was, and the Strider would be even better. Which is kind of funny. Like, the Strider and Ogre aren't technically... Like, you can only choose from the Atlas and the Beta right now, but there's these things called burn cards, which are sort of like temporary kill streak rewards. But they're not kill streak rewards. You get to use them once. You earn them at the end of a match, generally, and then they're like items you use once per life. So you'll use a card, it'll go away, and you'll have it until you die. And one of them, there's a couple that'll actually just give you the Titan, so some people have been lucky enough to get a Strider and Ogre to actually play in the game right now. And
that's fun.
That's pretty cool. You know what? I'm such a terrible host. I didn't properly introduce everyone. Last week, like I had Rayful, myself, and Maddie D on here, and we... I should turn off my phone, too. I'm so terrible at this. But, we kind of talked about where everyone came from, how we got into Graphite Lab, which is, if you're tuning into this for the first time, an independent game development studio. We are working on a game called Hive Jump right now. It is on Kickstarter right now. Go donate right now.
And Steam Greenlight.
It's on Steam Greenlight as well, yes.
Go hit that yes.
Ben Severs, why don't you tell us a little about your childhood? How do you... Where's the Sever line come from? Where's it going?
A poor man.
Well, back long ago. No, my family's always been from around St. Louis. Moved around a bit in Missouri, and then into Illinois. But otherwise, around this area.
Okay. And how did you get into Graphite Lab? What did you do before this? What got you into games? All that fun stuff.
Well, I got into games mostly because my father was he went to University of Missouri-Rolla as computer science, and we always kind of had like a computer around. So he was
kind of science.
Yeah,
computer science.
But he was always into like some of the games. We had like I remember playing like Doom and stuff really early, and we had like Nintendos and stuff. So he helped kind of, he was into the tech, so he liked getting that kind of stuff for us. So that was really fun. Cool. But otherwise, I sometime after I was a kid, I went to college for graphic design.
After.
Sometime, a little ways after. Went to Carbondale in Illinois for graphic design, hoping to do something in games, just because I really wanted to, and I loved games a lot. Hoping to maybe do some web or something, just in games would have been awesome. And saw that Graphite Lab had an opening for a user interface artist, and sent my resume.
There you go.
And did some freelance for them for a little while, and then got pulled on full time about a year ago.
Fantastic. And the rest is history.
Just
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. David Greenfield, it's my understanding, for those who don't know, we used to have about 7 people working at QA at Graphite Lab, but there was some sort of big catastrophe, and what we wound up doing,
all died.
we took all 7 of their bodies and kind of sculpted and merged them together into one being. And same with their brains, we kind of combine all their brains together, and that's what David is. And
an odd Frankenstein of QA.
And it's great because he has the strength of 7 men, but he also has all the memories and nightmares in their brains. So it's kind of a win-lose situation.
What a freak.
Did you ever play Marvel Nemesis? Rise of the Imperfects?
No.
Oh, it was
I saw it. I know of it.
Yeah, I played it. That's actually one of the backstories for one of the new characters. Yeah, Brigade. He was a whole platoon of soldiers, and there was a car bomb or something, and they merged him. But if you run out of power when you're playing as him, then he goes in some kind of seizure state, and he can't move because he's having all these nightmares of all the soldiers that he was.
Sounds like an effective fighter.
Yeah, exactly. Superhero for you.
It's pretty great. Anyway, why don't you tell us a little about yourself? How'd you get into games? What's your whole story? What's your actual backstory?
What's my origin story?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
have to do with Xavier.
Nothing really
Were
exciting.
you an X-Man?
Special. I mean,
you're too modest.
I guess my first console was the Sega Genesis. I got when I was 3 years old. So for as long as I've been alive, practically, I've had some sort of video game to play.
Mm-hmm.
Game Boy, Nintendo 64, PlayStation, all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only thing I really love in life. Video games.
His only friend.
He doesn't care about people.
My
He
only
doesn't
friend.
care about his family.
I read books too, and I like comic books.
You're big into comic books. What comic books are you reading these days? Anything good? Is Dr. Octopus still Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Or did they
go
back in
He's way
time or
cooler
some
than Peter
shit?
Parker is too. Everybody likes Dr. Octopus Spider-Man more than they like Peter Parker Spider-Man because he's such
The craziest
a
thing.
big jerk. And it's just funny the way he.
So they Deadpooled him.
But Deadpool's just crazy and nonsensical. Dr. Octopus is a mad genius.
Is he still cracking wise? Does he become Spider-Man and start
No,
doing
not,
zingers?
I
And
mean, he sometimes he
Does he-
tries
does he
to,
kinda
but they're
snap and-
usually pretty lame because I don't know. Dr. Octopus doesn't really have a sense of humor. But
that's funny.
what were we talking? Oh, me.
What the hell are we talking about?
So yeah, I play lots of video games, read books, watch a lot of movies.
Mm-hmm.
I went to school, and then I went to college.
Okay.
I went
Fascinating.
I went to Maryville University. I got my degree in interactive design, which is actually where I met our boss, Matt Rathel. He teaches there. I was his student. And I internshiped here last summer. I think it was maybe it was last spring. I don't know. I internshiped here at one point. And then a while after that, he decided they needed a QA tester. And I was like, well, I love to play video games, so sure, give me money to do that.
Whatever.
I'll do that for sure. And then, so he hired me, and here I am today.
Wonderful. That
Just
was
fantastic.
enthralling.
Now we got all the boring crap out of the way.
Yeah,
That people listening.
it's the first time you're on. We have to do some light introductions.
The only time.
I did mine last week, so if you want to listen to last week's show for more details, but it's close to David's. I went to school a whole bunch, and then right out of school I applied here, got the job, and started working here, and that's about it. Ben Severs, we were talking about Titanfall. That's what David Greenfield's been playing. What have you been playing? Anything?
Actually, it's...
Anything good? Anything bad?
Yeah,
Anything
mid? It's kind of funny because I got a little late to it, but my girlfriend plays WoW a lot.
Oh God!
So so I kind of jumped into that. I have some other friends who play it too, so it's been kind of fun. But I played. It's silly because I played for the first 6 months after. When it came out, vanilla, 20 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
And so coming back to it, it's crazy.
Why? I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
All the stuff that they've done.
I went
It's
and got
insane.
on my old characters, and they're all fucked up with stuff all over the place.
Oh Jesus.
I think since they were so old, something happened in their character file because their equipment was just super random. Like my hunter was. Had a polearm equipped that he can't have, or it was just the weirdest stuff.
That's crazy.
And I had a whole bag full of arrows, which you don't need anymore. So I had a whole quiver pack filled with arrows. I'm like, but these sell a bunch on the market. And I looked in the auction house and they don't. but yeah, so that's what I've been doing, some of that and doing some other random things.
That's crazy. So do you know what's going on? Is Thrall back in charge of the
No, he's not yet. The just recently he went away to do stuff.
Right.
And
He went to quell the cataclysm. Is that right?
Yeah, that's where
Because he's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
master shaman, so he can
cataclysm, and then
he can,
I don't know
tame the
anything
earth.
after that.
Yeah, he kind of did that, and while he went away, he left this Garrosh guy or whatever his name is in
Garrosh.
charge.
That big jerk.
And
Yeah,
he tried killing
asshole.
Racist.
trying to kill the troll guy and trying to cause a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. So he killed Cairn, head of the
Did
Torrent. Yeah, he's
What a
dead.
dick.
Yeah, right. God damn.
Cataclysm, I think.
And then I don't know what happened with the undead. They're probably I don't
Undead
know.
are the
Are they still
coolest.
indifferent? I know.
Sylvana, she's awesome.
Yeah. Is she still around? She's not dead, is she?
I don't know. I stopped playing.
Well,
Cataclysm.
is she?
She was trying to take over the Worgen.
That's a
kingdom.
good question.
So,
Yeah, but it's a bummer because I was always a big Horde guy,
Mhm.
so I was always really into the Horde stuff. But my girlfriend's Alliance, so I'm
Oh,
kind of
man.
playing some of Alliance
How-
stuff.
how does it-
Lame.
Yeah, well, they have the two Worgen or Draenei are probably the coolest and most Horde-like races they have. Otherwise, you could be a human or a dwarf
Or
or
a
a
short
gnome
human,
or
or really
a short
short
human or a
human.
shorter human, and then you got
Or
a purple human.
human. Yeah.
Purple elf. They're
Purple
elves,
elf.
at least.
Yeah, I mean they're slightly cool in the sense that they're not humans, but yeah. So the pickings are slick.
He hates
slim.
himself.
So yeah, it's kind of a self-hate kind of thing.
Yeah. I was always a troll man.
I was an orc man back in the day.
Yeah.
It's all
There you
about the
go.
orcs. The orcs are the coolest.
Yeah.
I started playing in BC, so I just started with a blood elf.
Mm.
The prettiest of the horde.
Yes, I was beautiful.
Most alliance
I just
horde.
I just did one
I'm so
quest.
sassy.
I just did one quest in Unguro Crater or whatever. But there's this knight dude that you have to help out, and he's running around. And part of it you have to help 3 damsels in distress. And the first one you run up to is a night elf. He's trying to help her out.
Mhm.
And then the second one you find is a blood elf male. And he's like, "Man, beautiful damsel."
I remember that.
That just cracked me up a little bit.
That's funny.
Yeah, they get made fun of quite a bit
Mhm.
because of their
For good reason.
girliness.
But yeah, so what? Is Vol'jin head of the horde now? I know he was leading a charge on Orgrimmar to take it back.
I don't.
But
Well,
I don't know what's
there's
after that.
the big raid now. The big one is taking down Garrosh, which you
Right.
do, but I'm not sure of the story afterwards. I'm sure it's probably all up in the air, and they're going to add that in
Just
the
chaos.
expansion or something.
Yeah,
Just
Well, the next expansion you go back in time, right?
I have no
Oh
idea.
yeah, there's pandas and stuff. There's a whole other continent.
Well, no,
Yeah.
the Mist of Pandaria,
Yeah.
they had all the
Yeah,
Panda stuff.
that came out, and now the
The
next one
Warlords
that's
of-
going to come out, you go back in time in Outland.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's Draenor still, I guess,
Mm.
and you see like all the old orcs and
Yeah.
That's cool.
yeah,
Because everyone just wants to return to the orcs versus humans kind of
well,
arena.
I always liked the Warcraft lore, and
Mhm.
I played WoW for years. It became a job, and I don't have time for MMOs nearly as much as I did when I was in school. So
Yeah, I've been
and
going.
subscription fees are stupid.
Yeah, I've been going really slow at it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, as stupid as they are, like you can play it like a job. You can play it 100% of the time and get so much entertainment out of it that it's like $15 a month for all the entertainment you need. Is like,
Yeah,
like if you went to a movie every weekend, you'd spend $40 a month on just going to a movie.
that's
I'm
something how it
bored
used
even.
to be. But after you play it for so long and you've
Yeah.
done everything there is to
Mhm.
do,
Yeah,
it's
no, I
sort of
getcha.
your options.
Then you're just
become
doing, like,
less and
dailies,
less,
you have to
and
grind
then,
stuff,
and then you're just
yeah.
doing dailies and
Mhm.
doing the same stupid raid over and over.
Yeah, no, I
It's not
understand.
for me.
And I'm sure I'll get up to max level and do some stuff and hang out with people, and then I'll probably be done with it and move on.
I always found chatting with people in general chat was the most entertaining.
That's the best part of any MMO, I say.
Good old Baron's
General
chat.
just yakking with whoever.
Yeah.
Made some friends on World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
But other than that, we've been playing Starbound a bit in the office.
Yeah.
That's been pretty
Yeah,
fun.
you guys want to talk about? I haven't been playing it because I think it's dumb.
Whatever.
Just kidding. It seems okay.
It has its downfalls.
What's
in beta.
Starbound all about? Why don't you guys talk about that for
It's
for a
space Terraria.
minute? All right, moving on.
Which is funny because we actually, like, I could have sworn it had some connection to Terraria, like it was the team that did it or something like that.
I thought so too. We were
Well,
talking
no,
about this
I mean,
yesterday.
Chucklefish is just the produce. They didn't do
Well,
anything
yeah.
on Terraria.
Oh, okay, but still, that's,
Yeah,
that's
the
a
producer-
common factor, right?
But no, there was no Chucklefish in Terraria
At all?
at all, and they're just producers. And
Did it? Oh.
but the team that actually made both of them, they're totally different things.
Oh.
Yeah, they have absolutely no connection besides that they're the exact same game.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out if they're like the same engine, which like they gotta be. Like
I don't
there's
know,
no way, but we couldn't
or
find
someone
anything.
bought something from someone,
It's not
but
be that hard to make that type of a game, I guess.
Maybe not. I mean,
Yeah.
we're doing random level generation and walking around doing all that
Yeah.
stuff. It's basically the same game.
that's true. But it's like it's almost like the whole Candy Crush Saga thing where they just remade.
Oh god, you have to pay them right now.
sorry. Oh my god.
You have to bleep that
I'm
out.
going to start charging for this podcast. $15 to hear us talk about
But it's
bullshit.
like they get such a bad rep for ripping off other games, and like Starbound is just a complete, like almost complete
Just a-
rip off of Terraria.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's weird.
Legit.
I mean, they added a bunch of stuff and it looks a lot nicer, and they did a bunch to it to make it better. But it's like
Mhm.
I bet everyone thinks it's the same team or the same people or something.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I thought for the longest
Even
time.
they
Mhm.
think it's the same
But
thing.
That's
They
wrong.
themselves don't know who they are.
But yeah, no. I mean, it's been really awesome and fun, and I suggest everyone to play it because it's
I
freaking.
can't wait for the next update because I've exhausted the content.
Yeah, David just
I've
eats
played.
through gameplay.
As soon as they did their last character wipe, I was like, oh, I no life that game, and I've done everything.
No, I got to my first. The farthest I've gotten was to my first beta planet, and I have spent no time crafting anything or any armors. So I'm in like half copper armor and half just the starting clothes. So I got to this new planet. And I immediately died. And I'm like, what's going on? So then I teleport down again, and my health is like, like it's just going down and down.
Uh-huh.
And I just throw some campfires down, and I can move in a 2-foot radius around these campfires. So I just keep laying them down. I'm like, okay, I need to go back and get some crafting done. So I jump back to the main world, and I'm searching for ores so I can craft some things. Although the dumbest thing they have right now is that, to craft anything, you need their in-game pixel currency kind of stuff, and which just doesn't make sense. Like you need to make a copper helmet. Well, it costs 4 copper bars and 200 pixels.
That anvil's got to make a living too.
Yeah, because you're just paying it with currency. But there's just so few ways to actually get pixels early on, where it's like I have to go murder everyone on the planet to get their money, or dig to find some chests and cool stuff, but you can't sell anything.
The pixel compressor is your friend.
Yeah, I can
The
now.
compactor, the compressor, which is the one that turns the ore into the pixels. That's the good one.
Yeah, I think I can just. I just found out that I can make that, and I need to make it so that I can get some pixels. But yeah, like having to use pixels to build anything is just kind of a bummer because it requires you to do other stuff besides like what you're like. I'm just mining. That's what the game's about.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I have to go get
after
pixels.
After you get past, I guess, the last boss that's in the game right now, I think it's the dragon. It's one of the tiers. You sort of just keep, like, they just keep unlocking more higher level armors, and you have to dig up higher level ore. So it's just like after that point, you're just sort of digging up absolutely everything. And if you have that pixel
The compressor thing.
money generally isn't much of a problem anymore. I like skipped a few tiers of armor too. Like just like, I have a ton of this later stuff already. I'll just skip the one I'm on. It's a fun game. I dig it.
Good. I've been playing some Danganronpa, which is
Gesundheit.
What the hell is that?
Rachel made the exact same joke last week. It's hilarious.
Bazing.
I talked about it a little bit. I didn't play it last week, but I got to it between podcasts. But it's a game for the Vita. It's like a visual novel, and so the premise is there's this kind of super famous school that it's a high school, and so if you're invited to attend there and you manage to graduate, then you're basically guaranteed to be super successful throughout your entire life.
That sounds extremely boring.
But
There's zombies.
not quite. So your character gets invited to go basically just from luck. They held like a raffle for all the ordinary kids. Okay, so all the students who are invited to go are the ultimate in whatever it is they do. So there's like the ultimate baseball stars, the
So
ultimate.
you're like the shitty one.
Yeah,
This is
you're
Japanese.
you're the ultimate lucky kid. It is Japanese. It is very Japanese. Yeah, you're the ultimate lucky
Only they want to
kid
play games about school.
because you were lucky enough to get selected to come there. But so you go there and then you black out and then you wake up and you're in like this alternate dimension school with all the other students, and everyone's like a big weirdo and stuff. And then there's like this robot bear who's kind of in charge of the whole thing. And so he says everyone's trapped in the school unless you manage to kill someone and get away with it. And then if you manage to do that, then you get to graduate.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so everyone gets real tense about it, and they start showing videotapes to all the students. Like your character goes in and you see your family, and then the next frame they're all dead, and the house is a big mess, and it's like, what's going on? I got to get out of here. Yeah, so eventually someone snaps and they kill someone, and then they hold like a big trial with all the other students, and it kind of becomes like Phoenix Wright at that point, where you have to like collect evidence and kind
A
of
bunch of high schoolers judging the fate of other high schoolers.
exactly right. Like it's nuts.
Sounds kind of like Persona.
That's the other big comparison. It's kind of like Persona, like VLR 999 visual novel, kind of like that, and then Phoenix Wright. Those are it's kind of like an amalgamation of those three things, which are all things that I really like, and I'm really liking this one. Like I had my first big trial last night, and like you got to like find contradictions in what people are saying based on evidence you have, and then there's like word puzzles. Like you got to like guess the letters in this word, and that's more evidence or something.
That has to be the weirdest thing to like
It's
game
crazy.
design. Like to game design something like that, would it just be like, what
I
are we
just-
doing? You just have to have really good writers or something.
Like I love Phoenix Wright because they just gamified the court of law somehow, and it's just nothing like you've ever seen before. It's really spectacular. So that's kind of what I've been playing.
You guys want to play one game at a time? I mean, I've been playing a lot more than just Titanfall.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what else you got going on?
I said
Share with us, David.
Okay.
I'm busy working all day. I've got games to make. I don't have time to. Play 5
play
things.
League of Legends every day, at least
Yeah.
once. I gotta get my win of the day, and
I
it's still
haven't-
pretty fun.
I haven't been playing that very, very
Oh, I
often.
know.
I'm
It's a
sorry.
shame. I'm the master of ARAMs now, though. I can't
Yeah.
even play the normal mode.
David has only played the normal mode like 4 times, and he's got to level 30 off of
It's
ARAMs.
too late. I can't go back now. I have to start a new account.
Too deep. I'm too far in.
Yeah, it would be so hard to start normal 5v5 games as level 30, having never played those.
6v6 is coming out. I think I'll start there, and then I can pretend that I'm not good just because they added an extra player into the mix.
Oh, jeez, I don't know.
Yeah,
Is that like their
the next
little thing that
crazy
they're
mode?
going crazy?
Like they had the 1v1 thing, or
Mm.
yeah. And then I've been playing lots of Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got Y when it first came out, and I played the crap out of that, and I finally broke down and decided to buy the other version like a week ago, just so I could make my perfect team and play the whole game through that.
But isn't it the same thing?
Kinda, yeah. But
With different
I get to
Pokemon.
fight all the gym leaders and trainers again, so.
Oh, what fun.
I wish they would just do that for the regular game, but that's how they get you. I mean, they're not going to let you just play the same game over and over. They want you to buy the
You should have
other
just
one.
told Severs to buy it.
That was my plan. I was going to over Christmas, but I just never got to it
Yeah.
because I was busy with stuff.
Busy playing World of Warcraft.
No,
The real RPG.
I don't even remember what I was playing back then. It was probably League.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been playing some Shin Megami. But all on my DS, just because it's so easy to play.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, just a console, you have to go over and turn it on and turn on your television and sit in front of the TV. Whereas the DS, I can just whip it out of my pocket and play wherever I am. And it's so much easier.
See, when I'm playing Danganronpa, my eyes get real tired because I tend to hold it like real close, and then you got to read, and then your eyes are moving
What
a
are you
lot.
playing it on?
My couch.
No,
Oh, it's on a Vita.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
PlayStation Vita.
Okay, gotcha.
So
Yeah.
I tend to like things on the TV, but whatever. To each his own, I suppose.
You're a freak, that's why.
Hey, you be nice on my podcast.
Okay. Now what do we talk about?
Well, first we're going to take a little break, make sure everything on the audio side is working all right, and then we'll be back. We're going to talk about some Hive Jump.
What if all the audio is bad and we have to redo everything?
Then that's.
Or we just talk about Hive Jump.
It looks like it's fine, just as a precautionary measure.
All of this will be cut.
Hey, you shut up! You shut up! All right, welcome back, everybody. You were listening to Indie Dev, the official Graphite Lab podcast. I'm John McCool. I'm here again with David Greenfield and Ben Severs. You guys want to talk about some Hive Jump?
Always.
I guess.
Always the go-getter, David Greenfield. So Hive Jump is, if you're just tuning in, it's a. It's a.
What are we doing?
It's
Where am
it's a
I?
something. I don't know what it is. It's a 2D action shootery kind of indie game we're making here at Graphite Lab. You play as some space marines. You jump into this big old alien hive. You shoot up the bugs. You get to the queen room. You zoom in this nuke. You blow up the queen. All the levels are randomly generated. Multiplayer, I think up to eight players at a time. It's on Kickstarter right now. Go ahead, go to Kickstarter, look for Hive Jump, donate generously. It is currently up to $4,570.
On the dot, 70?
Yay.
Yes, according to this page right here, and it's got 25 days to go. So, still plenty of time to reach our $75,000 goal. So, Ben Severs, you are responsible for a lot of the art in Hive Jump. Why don't you talk about that a little bit? It's all kind of pixely.
Mm-hmm.
Do you stand by the decision to make it a pixel art game? Like, do you still find that style attractive after working with it for however long we have been?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think it's been really fun working on it in pixel art style.
Mm-hmm.
It by us and by a lot of other people. Other people have been comparing it to, things like Contra or Metroid stylish, and how it kind of takes them back to the games they played when they were young. Takes them back. The good old days. But yeah, I think it's been really exciting to work with it. And I think you can get like a certain level of detail without the detail in pixel art that you just can't quite get in other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never really done any pixel art stuff before, but now that I've done it, it's really nice for people who don't really have a whole lot of artistic skill, because you're set with limitations. Like, a pixel has to go here or it has to go there. Whichever one looks better, you just choose. Like, when you're drawing free form or whatever, you gotta...
It's like, that curve doesn't look right.
Yeah, it's like tiny little pixels. I was like, well, hey, I can make stuff in this. It looks pretty neat.
Yeah, David's actually made a ton of the art for this thing. Like, you look at our video, you see some gameplay footage, and he likes stalactites and vines and
all the useless crap you see on the stage.
All the stuff that gives it life, man.
All the dumb stuff Severs doesn't want to waste time on. It's David, and he does it. And it looks fantastic. I think you're doing a wonderful job over there. Goodness. So outside of any pixel art that I've mentioned before, David, what have you been contributing to Kickstarter? Why don't you tell the people what you've been doing?
Well, my job is QA testing, so
Mm-hmm.
I do play the game quite a bit. Of course, every time I point out a bug, I get yelled at. So I just play it a lot, make sure it's fun. I've been helping our designer a bit too, just like figure out what would be fun, what would work, what. And then just lots of doodads, as we call our folder full of environment art, just stuff to decorate, and that's all I can remember.
Yeah, you got to decorate a bunch of the levels outside of, you made the assets.
Oh yeah,
and then you got
in
to
the level generator that you made.
Mm-hmm.
I made a lot of the levels, made them all look pretty with the art I made.
Mm-hmm.
And I made some levels themselves too, not just the.
That's true.
Parts.
Yeah, because our generator works by, we have like level chunks that the designers can handcraft and place all the vines and decorative things all over the place, and then the generator takes those chunks and places them in a pattern that makes sense. And so David, along with Matty D, have been making those level chunks and putting all the decoration stuff. And, it's good. Generator's been working out good. Things look good.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah.
I dig it. It's very, very Hive-like, for lack of a better word.
That's the idea.
And then I've been doing just a lot of other work for hire stuff a lot too.
Yeah, that's true. We're still...
When a game is in such a state of creation, it's hard to bug test it. So I've been doing a lot of other things here too.
Mm-hmm. We've had a couple updates to the Kickstarter page. For those who haven't been keeping as close an eye on it as we have.
Shame.
You should feel bad about yourselves. We changed the $30 tier for donations. Is that right?
I think we added a $30 too.
No, it's a new one. We have two actually.
Yeah, we added a $30 tier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we already had one as well.
Right.
But yes. And a 55.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Did we add the 55 or was that? I guess that doesn't matter.
Nope, that's me.
So, let me try to remember how this works. We should have got Matty D in here or something.
Oh, that's
See,
right.
he probably knows how.
What happens is at the $30 level, you get the game for yourself, and you always also get this recruiter key that will allow you to invite your friends to come, join and play the game too. It's like you're kind of getting it for them as well.
Right. Is that the unlimited one?
Yes.
Okay, so you can basically give like this URL to just everyone you know, just anywhere. There's no limit on it. In a sense, I think you get like. I won't say anything.
But then the $55 tier will get you into the closed beta and let you share that closed beta with your friends in the same sense.
So the 31 is when the game's released. You can give it to everyone, and then 55 is the closed beta as well as
early access.
Okay. So there's some pretty interesting new incentives for people who want to donate. You know, just be able to give the game to literally everyone you know, and have everyone you know be able to play the game with you. Pretty. Yeah, it's pretty compelling, if I say so myself.
It's quite generous.
I mean, I'm resisting the urge to get out my wallet and start just throwing money, you know, just right now, just on the table.
Hell, I'm making it, and I don't want to pay for it.
We've also started streaming some of our design meetings. So we've had 2 so far. We're going to have another one today, as of the day of the recording. So by the time you're hearing this, it'll probably be over. But
so check it out on Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah, we put them all up on our YouTube, and they're actually on the Kickstarter page too. So if you want to go there and take a look, if you want to follow us on Twitter or look at our Facebook or all that kind of stuff, you know, everyone's shooting updates for when the next Twitch meeting is going to happen, and feel free to join in. You know, you can type in the chat, ask questions, be part of the discussion. You know. Get to kind of design part of the game a little bit, which is always exciting. We have a whole bunch of updates on different bug types and weapons. Do we want to talk about what we were thinking for the weapons? That whole big thing that I have to make. You know?
Yeah, sure. I know we were talking about how we wanted to be able to modify weapons, or each person could kind of modify their own loadout to bring something different to the strategy of their team. And we kind of had 3 categories of how you could change your guns. The first being like what type of damage it is. You know, if it's like ice damage or fire damage or just regular bullets, and those would all kind of change how they work in different ways. Like ice might slow things, or fire might put some damage over time on them, or something like that. And then the next modification would be mods, which would change the gun into like a splitter gun that shoots 3 guns, like a kind of Contra style, or like a top-down shooter style, or like a ricochet that would bounce off of walls, or a bullet that would like circle you as you shot them, so you could kind of be up close in melee range and keep you protected and do damage to other things. And then the last one being amps or amplifiers, where it would increase the damage, or make the projectile bigger to hit, to make it easier to hit things, or to hit more things, or increase the damage over time on it, or what was the third one?
I know chaining.
Chaining.
I think that might have been a modifier.
Yeah, I think that was an amp that it would chain, that it would hit one thing and bounce to others.
Yeah, the cool thing about the system though is like it's not like a regular shooter where you choose this one gun and I put a silencer on it and I give it a different scope and it changes it a little bit. It's like we have the purpose of the system is to make like a ton of combinations. You could choose one base type gun, give it a modifier, and then give it a damage amplifier, and yours is going to be completely different from what somebody else has probably chosen, and it adds for like a ton of variety and I think playability. Just seeing like what's the most efficient way to kill the bugs, or what's the best way to help your team when they're all using a certain type of weapon, so I think the idea of combining 2 completely different weapons is quite exciting.
And especially like as it goes for the team, you might want somebody, you'll have one person that likes to be up in the front lines. They might take the fire gun and add a thing to it that just makes it like a typical flamethrower, and then increases the damage over time or the DPS on it. So you're like that front line, just straight damage that you're blowing out. And then somebody else has taken, the frost, and they want it to chain, so you're hitting a bunch of bad guys and slowing them down to kind of help your team maneuver better. And then you have somebody else taking the healing gun that, does a big cloud that just kind of heals everyone in that area, can kind of really let you customize and make whatever gun you want and I imagine everyone kind of have their own preference as to what team they're working with.
Mm-hmm. Well, exciting stuff for the future. We're in the process of getting down and dirty prototype for some of the stuff, and we're gonna see how we like it. It sounds, awesome. It's a lot like Magicka, kind of.
Yeah, a little bit.
For those of you who've played Magicka a little bit.
But without all the memorizing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Man, that game.
That was a fun game. I like that game. I think, was there anything, there's probably a bunch of other Hive updates that I'm forgetting about. Was there any other big thing that we should probably mention?
I know we had there was a bug meeting where we sort of just talked about all the different types of bugs.
Yeah, and I didn't pay attention to that, so,
Yeah,
so I don't know what's going on
I
there.
missed out of that
We were a
one as
little
well.
busy
We were
that day.
with some other stuff.
But I mean, you can see it all on the
Yeah, we
Kickstarter
got a whole
page
bunch
and
of stuff written down on the Kickstarter page, so if you want to go to Kickstarter.com, search for Hive Jump. That'll be us. Look under updates, and you'll be able to see all about the crazy different types of bugs that Maddie D and Maddie R came up with. You guys want to talk about some gaming news?
Gaming
Always.
news.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love
Of
the
course.
news.
There was a new Nintendo Direct
Yay.
on February
Love
13th, I believe, a couple days ago. Announced a whole bunch of stuff. Little Mac is coming to Super Smash Brothers.
Yay.
David, you love Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, God, I love Super Smash Brothers.
Little Mac,
It's
who's
one of
that?
my favorite games.
He's
Are you
from-
serious?
I'm sorry.
God.
He's from Punch Out.
The
Punch
guy
Out?
from
Yeah.
Punch Out. You
Mike
know Mike
Tyson.
Tyson's Punch
Oh.
Out? Your
Yeah,
character.
That's the main guy?
Dude. And
Okay.
Boom,
Yeah,
boom.
that guy.
Gotcha. That seems odd.
He just
Is
had
he
a
going to
Wii
be all
game,
pixelized? Because that'd be
No,
awesome.
well, he had a Wii game
Oh.
where they made him look like he is.
Whatever.
I mean, more realistic. Not
Lame.
everything has to be made of pixels.
But that would be awesome to have one like pixelized character
well, they
in
had
Smash.
Mr. Game and Watch.
But
and he
he's
wasn't
he's just
pixelated.
black and he's not pixelized.
No,
though.
but God, it's close enough.
But it would be funny. I think
They
It
had
would-
assist
it would be
trophies
amusing.
that were pixely, like the little Advanced War guys, the Famicom Wars. They were pixely.
Cool.
But yeah, no characters. That would be a little weird. It wouldn't match
I think
with the
it'd be
rest
funny.
of
Let's
the
make it like how
Like-
they have like Toon Link, have like Pixel Mario or something. Have
I
like
don't
that
need any
little
more
sprite.
Mario
Or even like
That's-
adding a
yeah.
like even a Street Fighter character, like how they look. You know, like
Yeah,
they're
crazy.
more they're not like they're more higher res than
Well,
little
it's
pixel
kind of
stuff.
funny because
It's
I
kinda
was
interesting.
watching Little Mac's reveal trailer, and it's very, very Street Fighter style in his reveal
Mm.
trailer. You know how like in
Mm.
Street Fighter 4 they had the ink blot style where like
Oh yeah.
whenever they
Yeah, I like
punch,
that
they had
style.
stuff coming off them. But it was really similar to his reveal video.
Yeah,
so
it was
I thought that was really
Crazy.
that was pretty cool looking. He doesn't look like that in the game. That was just for his trailer.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But yeah, it just reminded me of that.
It'd be cool if he did look like that.
He's really dirty. He's got ink everywhere.
Let's see. Kirby Triple Deluxe will launch on May 2nd.
Yeah.
I guess that's
I like
another
Kirby too.
Kirby game for 3DS.
Yep.
Yoshi's New Island
Yeah.
launches on March 14th.
No goody.
Is that a 3DS game?
I think
Too?
so.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't play the Yoshi games a lot.
Speaking of Phoenix Wright, a new Ace Attorney game is in development, which is always exciting. A second Steel Diver launched.
Oh, that's their like they're like they have two free to play games,
Right.
Like, quote unquote. They don't like to call it free to play games, but
Mhm.
I heard it's supposed to be like that Steel Driver game, and then there's like a weird baseball game that are going to be free to download and play, and then you can pay extra money to buy more content for it.
So what are they calling them?
I don't know.
Just
what they're
games?
calling it. I don't remember what the article said, but they're like, yeah, they're just like some free games that you can play, and then if you really like them, you can happen just to pay more money or pay some money and get new stuff in them.
think
I never
that's-
played Steel Driver though. It looked kind of boring.
Yeah, I saw some footage of the new one that just came out. And,
It's like
Man,
the
that looked really
3DS's
dumb.
first-person shooter, I guess.
Yeah,
is how
but,
it's
like-
described.
but like you're a sub and you're flying through rings and
I think I'll
it
just
looked-
wait for the next Metro
looked kind of boring.
Prime game, hopefully.
And I think that baseball game you just mentioned is Rusty's Real Deal Baseball.
Oh, yeah. Real deal baseball.
Rusty's Real Deal
This
Baseball.
Ugly dog in it. They like their baseball over in Japan.
They do.
They dig some baseball.
Yeah, man. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we got like MLB, but they got like there's Real Deal.
There's always this anime and stuff based on odd sports.
Yeah.
At least odd for us. Like,
Mhm.
like there's baseball and there's like tennis and there's actually one you can actually watch now on the Nintendo eShop. Apparently, like there's an advertisement for it, and like
Mhm.
it's an anime about soccer.
Hmm.
Like you just go on the eShop and watch some soccer cartoon. Like,
Interesting.
well, that sounds boring.
Maybe it seems like exotic to them, so it sounds more fun than it does to us. 'Cause they're like,
Yeah,
oh,
so-
a show about baseball.
Well,
Like,
they have their own baseball league.
Well, no, I mean-
Baseball's huge over there.
Yeah.
Kinda.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't watch cartoons about sports, but maybe that's just me.
Yeah. I mean, knowing those Japanese, it's probably wildly exaggerated.
Careful. No, I'm good. But yeah,
It's probably,
sports and stuff.
I gotta
We
believe
don't know anything about that. We're a bunch
in
of
my
nerds
ability
here.
to play baseball. In the heart of the bat. Rah! Ultra Mega Super Slam!
Oh boy.
Whoa! That's probably what a baseball anime.
Half our audience is
Yeah,
stopped
they
listening.
and we just lost our one listener.
Because we're huge in Japan right now. I don't know if you knew that. Pokemon Battle Trozai.
It's like a puzzle game.
Yeah, it looks like. I watched the trailer for it. It looks kind of like.
Candy Crush Pokemon.
Yeah, kind of.
Seriously?
Basically, like
Wow.
like
It's that type of a.
instead of
grid-based
fruit, it's like
games,
Pikachu
yeah.
heads, and you kind of move them around to get rows of a certain number, and then they clear, and then
Bejeweled,
the rest of them
I guess.
drop.
So it is. God, that's so disturbing. Makes me
Hey,
want-
they haven't made a Flappy Bird yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's a while after
They
Candy
got those
Crush.
Mario
so give
pipes.
it another 2
I can
months.
see there being a Flappy Bird type mini game in the next Pokemon game. That'd be pretty hilarious.
Boy.
Inazuma 11. It's making its debut in North America on the eShop.
No idea what that is.
Me neither.
Let's skip it.
You get the 11th one?
NES Remix 2 launches on April 25th. David, you're the only one here who has a Wii U, I think.
Yeah.
Did you play NES Remix?
I don't know what that is.
It's like they took a bunch of old games,
Yeah.
like the Super Mario Brothers and
Sure.
Donkey Kong and all that, and
Gotcha.
they essentially have like save states, and so you pick like these challenges, and it loads up a different save state from these games, and
Mhm.
it's like jump over 3 barrels in Mario, and then if you do that, then you beat the challenge. and
Yeah, I
get some
think
points or something.
I think I remember. I saw something about that. It's almost like a WiiWare kind of thing, or a WarioWare.
Yeah,
where it's like you have to
kinda.
do this little tiny mini snippet of Mario, and then it goes and loads Donkey Kong, and then you do a little bitty thing, and then it loads another old game, and you like try to do some little challenge.
Yeah, except it doesn't load like new games like that. It's like here's like Mario challenge number 1, and then it's like you do 3 kind of Mario challenges and like World 1 or whatever, and then you go and you can pick from another list of different games. But they're coming out with the second one, so there's
Yay.
that. GBA games on the Virtual Console,
Oh, good.
which is pretty cool. So they're starting with Metroid Fusion, Mario and Luigi, Mario Advance 3, Mario Advance 2, WarioWare, Advance Wars, Golden
Advance
Sun,
Wars, that's such a good game.
F-Zero. Those are all headed to Japan. Sorry,
I'm
David.
wasting our time with that.
Well, all our Japanese listeners, like I said, we're huge in Japan.
All right.
So that's always exciting. New footage from X
Oh,
was
cool.
shown.
Cool. I haven't watched that yet.
I have no idea what that is.
It's supposed to be like the I think it's supposed to be like the spiritual successor to the Xenosaga games. Like the last one was Chronicles for the Wii, and it's like super hard to find for some reason. It's like $200 on the internet. Like I'd love to play it, but I'm not gonna spend $200 on it. But yeah, it's the next Wii U game. It looks pretty cool. It's like a sci-fi monster hunter RPG kind of thing. It's pretty cool. I haven't. There wasn't a whole lot about it, so maybe that trailer or whatever that is has some cool stuff in it.
Interesting.
I'll have to watch that.
Yeah. And then there's a bunch of new footage for Bayonetta 2.
Why is that a Wii exclusive?
I couldn't tell you.
Wasn't the last one like?
Yeah, last one was everywhere.
Or it was everywhere?
Yeah.
I don't think it was even on a Nintendo system, though, was it? It seems like a really weird game to be on.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they've had their own like M-rated games. So you got Resident Evil and I'm sure there's something else, but
there's at least one more.
It's the only one ever.
Zombie U.
Oh yeah, more zombies, of course. It's just like Bayonetta. It seems like it's such a weird thing to
just
put on the Wii U.
Small way to add to their adult content or something.
Yeah.
It's Platinum Games. They did Wonderful 101 as well.
Yeah.
And that's on Wii U exclusively.
Yeah, but that's a very Nintendo-esque looking style game.
Yeah, kind of.
Like, yeah, I never played the first Bayonetta, but I heard it was okay.
I bought it and I played it for maybe like a half hour, and then I never touched it again. Not for any particular reason. I just didn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
some other stuff.
Well, it's
came
just
out.
like a bunch of fan service, but offending.
Goodness. Well, that's I guess all that Nintendo
That's
announced.
all the news.
That's
not all the news. Steam tags started.
Oh, good.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
That really helps. Helps us organize those Steam lines.
Right.
If I want to search for best game ever, I will be able to do that now. I'll give
Or worst game ever.
Or worst game ever.
Or Gone Homo and all the horrible things people tagging that game for. And
next
things
we'll be
like
able
that.
to like upvote and get karma points. Just wait.
Add a tag. And here's some Steam level.
We'll be able to upvote the tags. Just wait. It's gonna be everywhere. We'll be able to upvote like people's like profile avatars.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Upvote your upvote.
Yeah.
I confirm your upvote as being a legitimate upvote.
Here, someone give me a game on Steam. I want to see what the tags are.
Risk of Rain. There's that one.
That's a good one.
Risk
I dig that.
See what they have.
Rain.
It'll probably be not a whole lot. Although it was on front page a while
It's
ago.
definitely a pretty popular game.
We got indie, roguelike, platformer, action, 2D, online co-op,
So far, so good.
pixel graphics, difficult,
Pixel graphics. Okay.
great soundtrack,
Yeah, that soundtrack's pretty good.
permadeath,
Okay.
local co-op, procedural death labyrinth.
That's a good one. Because, I mean, you can have just, like, procedural levels and anything, but if you have, like, Spelunky style, like, stupid, difficult procedural levels, might as well call them
Death labyrinth.
Death Labyrinth.
And what's great about that is I can click on that now
and see all the games that have procedural Death Labyrinth.
Labyrinth.
Airport Simulator 24/7.
Wow.
It's listed in this category.
Nice.
Game,
That's awesome.
Game Tycoon 1.5. Guise of the Wolf. Coin Crypt.
How many people need to tag it for it to be like, okay, this is actually a tag?
Apparently,
I don't know.
Can you just put that, like, can I put that on anything and now it's in that?
Maybe.
They throw that on Madden.
Yeah, just because. I'll try that later.
That's pretty funny. That sounds like a fun thing to do when you're bored. Just go on Steam and look at all the stupid tags people put on
Yeah,
everything.
legit. What's another good game we could look?
Look at a big name game. Aren't you just on their homepage? Just click on something.
Alright.
Hey, gosh.
Let me go.
something that's
You
not
like
really
Borderlands
accessed.
or something.
There's Thief is right here. Let's click on Thief.
Thief, is that even out yet?
No.
That's,
So
go
let's see
back,
the
go back.
tags people have given it to a game that they have never played.
Apparently, Zach, another guy in our office, he was talking about people tagging like South Park as being overpriced.
Overpriced. Or like all the Call of Duties are under bad or something like that. And
Yeah.
That's what next time I go to Steam, I'll search for overpriced because that's what I want to buy.
Search for underpriced and see what you find.
Yeah.
So here's stealth, edgy, casual.
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 Okay,
My mistake.
sorry.
My mouth is all dry. Reboot, first person stealth, first person, thief,
Counts.
action, betrayal, dark, edge,
Edge.
More edges.
Pointy.
lacking good
Black?
voice acting.
Click that one. Let's find other games that lack good voice acting.
There's some more good ones on here. Adventure, steampunk, anti-hero, stealth in quotes. So there was stealth, first person stealth, and now stealth. Dante, white male protagonist, hardcore and single player. Let's see what's lacking good voice acting.
I wonder if people get points for like if they made up the first of that tag and other people added to it. I'm sure they get some.
I clicked on lacking good voice acting and not enough items tagged with lacking good voice acting.
Oh.
So it shows me nothing.
Let's look up something like Borderlands. You said Borderlands 2 would be a good one. Some big game that's
That's
been out
what
for a
people
while.
like to listen to on their podcast. Just people doing random stuff.
Yeah.
But they do.
Hash
I mean,
Point is huge.
that's what I listen
Yeah,
to.
They get to watch funny things.
Well, some people at work and they can't watch, so they listen.
Listen to three dudes ramble on about stupid stuff.
Precisely.
FPS, co-op, RPG, loot, shooter,
Loot.
action, multiplayer, funny, open world.
Funny.
Does it say Dick Fest? Oh no, it's DLC Fest.
Oh wait, there's Dick Fest.
Yeah, that's the next one.
Dick Fest.
That's a new tag we gotta add to something. Let's just go on like an army and send the whole office to like tag a bunch of stuff on Steam as Dick Fest.
Dick Fest. God. Action RPG, memes.
Memes.
Gearbox.
Just memes.
Yeah.
You really
Memes.
need a tag that tells people it has memes in it? Like,
Apparently, people gotta know.
you just need to translate the entire script of the game into tags.
Stylized, addictive, grinder.
Stylized? That's
Grinder.
really vague.
Futuristic, good story, and progression.
Good story and progression, or
Yeah.
two different things?
Two different things.
Okay.
Oh goodness, man! I feel like I could look at tags and things all day, but
Let's do that for the rest of the day. I don't know. We don't need to work on it.
I don't gotta work or anything. God, we've been pushing quite some time, so I think now is a good time to cut it off.
Finally.
We do accept emails at info@graphitelab.com if you want to send us questions about David Greenfield's dark and gloomy past, or Ben Severs, what he's up to, or something about Hive Jump, or something about the company,
Dude.
anything. Yeah.
You want to go to lunch?
What's Ben Severs up to? What did Ben Severs eat for lunch? I don't know what Matty D made for his wife for Valentine's Day, but
I'm sure we can find that
I'm
out.
sure with one email, you two can know.
We love numbered questions.
we talked about that last podcast. But go ahead and send us any questions. I don't have any questions with me right now because I don't know the password to get into that email. And I don't think we have any listeners yet. So, unless this is on the Kickstarter page, a link to this podcast. We're on iTunes now, I guess. I didn't see a link on it, but we'll see about changing that maybe. Whatever.
Worst podcast ever.
You shut up. You shut up. Join us next week. We're going to talk about Hive some more. We're going to talk about some more news. We're going to talk about lots of things. Thanks for listening. I've been John McCullough here with David Greenfield, Ben Severs. We are here at Graphite Lab. Yeah. Donate to Hive Jump. Thanks for listening. See y'all next week.